As we forge into 2022, three key and critical life impacts command attention: leadership, mental health wellness, and DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Leadership, whether leading a team or leading self. In order to realize results, cement accomplishments, or even fulfill your personal achievements, a strategic plan is required. Mental health. Pandemics on multiple fronts continue to plague our sensibilities. Self care is a priority. It assures that we are taking care of ourselves so that we can take care of others within our ecosystem. Thirdly, DEI. We must sustain our efforts to ensure that every person is seen and heard. Strategic plans must include goals and objectives for saturating belongingness into our lives. Join us every month in the Roaring 2022 as we explore leadership, mental health, and DEI, as we share how leaders can and should make positive impacts in each of these arenas. We encourage you to engage in the conversation, share your point of view and perspectives, utilize the platform to educate as well as to learn. Steve Maraboli tells us we were placed on this earth to achieve our greatest self, to live out our purpose, and to do it courageously. Leaders, as you define normal in the Roaring 2022, make space to build clarity around leadership, mental health wellness, and DEI. Matt, what is your sharing as we go into 2022?
Thanks, Twiana. I am so happy that we are kicking off the year starting about talking about wellness and DEI and leadership. And I just want to wish you a happy new year to you both. So, I have this overarching goal of living happily and healthfully to 100. So, wellness is a big part of that. And typically, I do a 3-week cleanse 3 times a year. And it's hard to find 3 weeks in a row when there aren't other fun things going on, which makes it hard to stay on the cleanse. Well, this year I'm taking advantage of the Omicron wave, and while I'm hunkering down, I'm doing the cleanse. Now, clearly, getting COVID would not make me happy, nor healthy, nor help me live to 100. So I want to avoid that if at all possible. And because I'm not going out, I'm happy to report that I've been able to stick with the cleanse perhaps the best I ever have before. And now I'm loving how I'm feeling. The first week was a little rough, mostly from coffee withdrawal. But now on the second week, my energy's back, and I feel like I have all the energy that I used to have even before when I relied on coffee. So it's great to see my body snap back and respond so well. So that's how I'm starting off my roaring 2022. How about you, Kimberly?
Thanks, Matt. Wow, you are ambitious, living to 100. I think wellness is a part of that, but also good genes, right?
Absolutely.
40% of our working population experienced mental illness, such as severe depression and anxiety in 2021. Yes, that number is scary, but what is even bigger concern to me is that this 40% is double the figure from the previous year. Yes, double the figure. We are on an increasing trend of mental illness, depression, feelings of isolation, anxiety in the workplace. I speak often about the isolation epidemic, where 50% of Americans feel isolated, alone, and depressed, and that was before the pandemic. And with the onset of COVID and the pandemic, it went as high as 80%. So there's no surprise that we're also seeing this manifested in the workplace. Working from home, family illness, the increased ambiguity, uncertainty, and lack of social and physical contact in a working environment has led to these increasing numbers. We as organizations and leaders must ensure we put a lens on the overall well-being of our people, not just physically, but also mentally. We must make a conscious plan and effort to allow for our people to feel safe, to express their own challenges in their emotional well-being. In my role as principal of Performance Leadership International, I am passionate about engaging leaders to be more conscious of how they lead, manage, and communicate with their teams. And when I coach and consult with leaders and teams, I do so with the intent to create more connection by defining better ways to engage, motivate, and affirm our employees and teams with an emotional component. When we do this as leaders, we help the workplace become the new thriving community place where everyone feels heard, valued, supported, and most importantly, they feel like they belong. Join us as we discuss the important topics of DEI, mental health, and emotional wellness in the workplace in our 2022 series. What are you doing at your organization and as a leader to ensure DEI and wellness and mental health stereotypes are totally eliminated and your people feel safe to express who they are, how they feel, and what emotional well-being challenges they may be facing that inhibit them from being and doing their best?